One of the most common technical support questions I get is how to install the floor C-channel braces. So I'll start with a car that is already assembled. In this case it's a wagon. Same exact car as the sedan except a little different steel in the back here. On the wagon we have a little bit more steel in the way. This is the short. I'll start at the rear with cross member 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is number 5. That's the shorter welded bar, and on that short welded bar you'll also notice that we have the spacers. So here's the rear lip of your inner fender, and you have a 1-inch spacer and you have a 2-inch. This one goes all the way to here, so you rivet these two rivets all the way through, and this stack here joins these two together so that they're flush. So that's a 1-inch plate that goes all the way over, and this is a 2-inch plate right here that comes all the way out to here, and you can rivet both sides. So that's cross member number 5, and it bolts right through the other side like all of them do, or like all of the pre-positioned ones do. Number 4 is right here. That's the one that starts to begin to go over the spare tire well. That one also bolts on the outside. It's a welded longer bar. And if we were to go up front, we already talked about cross member number 1. In this particular car there's a hatch. You know, the rivets up there are the access hatch for the fuel pump, which is underneath. On these early cars, we put a little hatch on there. We realized that the corrugated aluminum covers the hole anyway, so we've left that off on the later cars. So don't worry if you don't have that piece in your kit when it ships in 2018. So this is the front bar. This is also, if I show you how that finished. We did this in the last video, but I'll show you again. The front edge of the inner fender slides down between the crossbar and the tray, and then you can put a bolt right through that that lap joint down there if you wish. You can drill a little 50mm bolt with a spacer if you wish. And then these are all bolted in place from the last video. So the next one up is what I want to talk about. So that was number 1. Here's number 2. So number 2 is mounted with 2 L brackets, and I'll show you the piece installed first, and then I'll show you up above here how they go together. So those 2 L brackets are the large L brackets. There's one on each side. The bars are 14 inches from center to center. If I was to put a ruler on here, you can see they're about 14 inches center to center. And the bar itself mounts like this. These are the pieces. So remember, these 2 bars, you have your bar number 1, bar number 2, and bar number 3. These 2 that are right after the front tray, these 2 right here, these bars mount to the floor and to the side because they go over the spare tire well. They don't have welded ends. They have open C-channel ends. And the reason for that is just like this. We have a white spacer. This white spacer goes inside the end of the bar. If you were to make this part neck, let me just move this out of the way. That'll be for that one. So the bar up front, this mount right here, is the same as what you're seeing here. You take 2 of the large brackets, you take the spacer, and you bolt that together, right? You use the longer stainless bolt, and they go together like this, and you use your level or your straight edge to make sure the height is proper, but that's how that one goes together. And that's bar number 2 right there. You can see it bolted in place. Now bar number 3 is the one that's right under what we're dealing with here. Let's get this out of the way. I'll try to get it so you can see in there. Bar number 3 is the one that goes directly over the spare tire well. So this one has to be removable in order to get to the spare tire. If you're not using a spare tire, don't worry about this one and bolt it to the floor. But this is how they're bolted together. There's your picture. So you can see there's a thin bracket, this one right here, and it bolts to the side wall sideways. And the reason is, I'll show you up here, here's your bracket on the leading edge, the forward edge of this C-channel. Here's your C-channel. In order to remove this bar, it's bolted in place up here. You have to undo the bolt right there, and you have to lower it and pull it backwards to get it out. Right? So here's its installed position, and when it's installed, it's going to be installed like this, right? Just like you saw in the picture. And you'll put the bolt through, and you'll bolt it all together. And when it's all the way at the top, you'll be able to drop it down and pull it out. And that is bar number 3. That's this one right here, right over the spare tire well. Bar number 4 is another one, but it, like we talked about earlier, it bolts through to the outside with the pierces. It's a welded long C-channel. And this welded long C-channel is one of those early ones that we bolted together when we pre-assembled the bed. And then this is number 5. Number 5 is obviously the last one. It's the shorter one because of this offset right here. So that's it. That's the way to bolt together the rear bed floor of the Jetta Mark IV.